Good morning, everybody, on this beautiful Labor Day weekend. And welcome to everybody online. I know there's thousands of you out there. But we'd like to start off this morning. Well, first of all, if you're new with us and you'd like an information packet, you can check with the board desk or with Doug as an usher. And if you'd like to see a tour of the grounds, or talk to anybody about our center, we're more than happy to talk to you. But we'll start off this morning with Darian with an opening song. Thank you, Darian. So I'd like to invite the children up. We'll sing them out to the cottage. And we'll also sing to the children of the world for love, harmony, peace, and well-being. So just know with me that the children are safe, well-fed, and loved. You are the face of God. Thank you. And on that note, I would like to let everyone know that we are looking for another teacher for the cottage to support Bonnie. So it'd be one Sunday a month, and Bonnie would help with the curriculum and assist you and do some training. But it's a lovely experience. It's a good way to be in touch with the young people in this center. And so we put that call out, to get additional support for the cottage and for the children's program. So I'm Charlie Bourne. I'm the practitioner for today, and serving up here on the podium with me is Johan Carew, if I pronounce the last name right. No, but well, she can say it when she comes up here. She'll be doing the announcements and the rest of the program after the prayer. So, and I also want to introduce a new board member, so Dawn Kraffel, and hopefully I pronounced that right too. But Dawn is a new board member, but she's also just signed up to be in the practitioner training class. So she's a welcome. She's been around since she was this high and came back from the Bay Area, and she's getting very involved in our center, so we look forward to that. Thank you, Dawn. And if you haven't met her, just go back and meet her. A wonderful person, does beautiful spiritual dance. So I'd like you to silence your cell phones or your devices. And then also to know that we really appreciate everybody that came in early to help set up for today. We have our sound team, we have our board member, we have the ushers and greeters. And I always have to remember we have the kitchen cookies. So in the social hall after service, you can go back and meet other people in the congregation, meet somebody you don't know, and share some bread. It's a wonderful time together. And the bookstore. And the bookstore is open on Labor Day weekend. Can you imagine that? So thank you for coming. And then practitioners in service today will be Christy, Johan, Mary, Dr. Mary, and myself. And I think Judy will be available, and then I'm available. I said that already. I had an estate sale for all day Friday and Saturday, so I'm a little bit rummy. But I'm totally present here with you today, so this is what I love to do. So now we're going to have Sue come up and introduce some new members. Sue?
Drum roll. Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted to welcome two lovely ladies, and when I invite them forward, you're going to think, what, aren't they already members? Because you see them here all the time, and they're already in service. But I followed up with them, and we talked about becoming members and making that step of commitment. And I want to invite Kathleen Patton forward and Norma Earl. Now, I've got butterflies, like that this is new to me and it's not, but what I like about this woman in particular here is all of you know her from many times. She is the one I refer to often as the what is it called? Emotional freedom tapping technique scholar. She's got a guidance that moves through her that really helps you find your way through some difficult times. And she's also going to, in the future, in 2025, help us develop a grief support group. So I am just thrilled to introduce you more formally to Kathleen if you haven't known already. And another thing about her, I get so surprised about this, but I think she's my friend, and then I realize that she's almost everybody's friend. You know, they'll say, oh, I was out with Kathleen. I think, oh, girlfriend envy. Anyway, she's just that kind of person. And then sweet Norma, if you want to know anything about the most adorable dog in the world, she's got a few pictures on her phone. You can sit with her, and it'll take probably a couple hours, but she's a pure delight when she starts speaking the love of her pets and her animals and of life and of just who she is. And I asked her, why did it take you so long to want to be a member? And she has just been stepping up. She's in the prosperity counting group already. She comes and does the awareness folding. And she shows up in all of these beautiful, quiet ways of being in service and practicing the loving kindness always. And her answer to that question is just time. It's just time to be more involved and to create even deeper friendships. And of course, they're good friends. Right? So I'm just proud to offer you these membership. There's yours, Norma, and there's yours, Kathleen. And with that, can you all just give them a hoot and a holler and a... Thank you so much. It's not so hard. They look so beautiful, all spiffed up. Is there another part I have? Birthdays?
You want to do birthdays?
Yes. Who, besides my daughter, Lindy, there she is, who else has a September birthday? Christy. Who else? Awesome. Let's just stand and be. We're going to just sing that we love you and glad you're here. Here we go. And Jim, you too? Wow. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all of you. Happy birthday to you. That's so much fun. We hope that your month is very special. And just keep telling you, everybody, all month long that it's your birthday every day and get all the attention and love you need. Okay.
So it's my pleasure to introduce Johan to come up and do the announcements and carry on with the rest of the service. So welcome, Johan.
Thank you, Charlie. Oh, good morning, everybody. Thank you. So we have a huge list of announcements that I'm going to go through, and I know that there will be one or two things that really resonate with you. The first one is Sue MillerBorn will be doing Hatha Yoga again from 5:30 to 6:45, starting September 4th. And those of you that have had her class can really attest to the spiritual connection with yoga that she offers us. We have the 4 Agreements, a non-certified class coming with Christy Carr, and that starts September 5th on Thursday. And those are 6:30 to 8:30, and there's 4 agreements, so I think there's 4 classes. That's how that works. So it's a really powerful code of conduct that will rapidly transform our lives, experience freedom, true happiness, and love. We have a spiritual music jam led by Shems, Friday, September 6th. That's 7 to 8:30, where we engage in a spiritual practice of drumming and music. And I've yet to be able to attend one of those, but really look forward to it. The Grace of Aging Sage Workshop, called Getting Real, by Sue MillerBorn and Shirley Wade. This starts September 7th on Saturday. It's 9:30 in the morning till 12:30. And you're invited to explore the concept of contemplation a bit deeper by bringing contemplation that has penetrated your illusions and helped you move deeper into your knowing. New Moon Circle, another wonderful thing that we do here at the center is by, the theme is Finding Grace. The herb is Starflower. And this is with Lori Buckman, Saturday, September 7th at 6:30 to 8:30. So make sure that you're signed up for that. There is a maximum of 15 females that can attend that wonderful new moon circle, September 7th. The Essence of Science of Mind meeting with Dr. Mary Mitchell, Sunday, September 8th, and that one is at 11:15 to 12:15. She'll share the history of our Centers for Spiritual Living and this center, and share information about Science of Mind. I'm wondering if that's what prompted Kathleen and her best buddy there to come and be members. So we have a watercolor, paint and photographs and imagination class with Sharon Wyndham, and that starts Monday, September 9th, 9:30 a.m. to noon. They focus on creating original paintings, providing basic practical steps to transform your photograph and reference material. Book Club, The Eternal Journey, How Near-Death Experiences Illuminate Our Earthly Lives. This is with Robin Backstrom, and it starts Monday, September 9th, and that's 2 to 4. We have, I told you there was a lot. We have a Sacred Sisters Women's Group with Reverend Sue MillerBorn, Monday, September 9th, 7 to 8. During this time, we weave a deeper understanding into each other's lives and create a nesting poem. It says, "Join us. It's time to reunite, ladies." There's a gong meditation with Joan Richards. That's a Tuesday, September 10th. This is in the evening from 6 to 7:15. A New Look at Karma. This is a class with Reverend Sue MillerBorn. It starts Wednesday, September 11th, 7 to 8:30. Join Sue and Charlie in a wonderful 6-week class about karma. This is all about going deeper into the evolution of the soul, and I believe it's got a really good reputation that's been here before. And then I want to share, I have a full circle, as Dawn has a full circle, that I was a member here over 30 years ago and have had a journey away and back and am now a practitioner. And I will be doing my very first workshop here called OMG. And that stands for One Monthly Goal. That workshop will be on Monday, October 7th. It's 9 in the morning. That's the first goal. 9 to 11 a.m. And I've done this workshop it started during the pandemic. And it's been really, really life-changing for many people. If there's something that you're feeling like, I could really, really look at this goal or this intention. Usually it's something that we've wanted to do over and over. For me, it was consistent yoga. Every year, every January, I'm gonna do consistent yoga. What happens? Like 10 years, every year. This has helped me, so I have consistent yoga in my life. We'll share more about that. It's in the morning, on the 7th, 9 to 11, and everything will be provided. So I've ended up in Durham is where I live, on a little farm, and I'll bring some great farm snacks, all the workbooks, anything that is needed. Just show up and be thinking. Is there something calling you that you'd like to think about for a 1 monthly goal? And now after all that, would like to invite Darian back. Thank you for that beautiful first song, and we're ready for more. Thank you. Oh, Darian, you're gonna do a reading? No. I'm sorry. I was just excited that I knew how to say your name and your song. Lori Barnes is an easy name. Lori will be here to do the reading, and I apologize for that. I think I got excited about my monthly goal. Lori, please come do our reading.
So this morning's inspiring quotes are related to honoring Labor Day, and these were chosen by Reverend Sue. Every day, I remind myself that my life depends on the labors of other people, and that I must exert myself in order to give in the same measure I have received. Albert Einstein. Seek to make your work a prayer, your believing an act, your living an art. It is then that the object of your faith will be made visible to you. It is then that you shall kiss the lips of your desire. Ernest Holmes, This Thing Called You, page 37. Choose a job you love, and you will not have to work a day in your life. Confucius. Be courageous and discipline yourself. Work. Keep digging your well. Don't think about getting off from work. Submit to a daily practice. Your loyalty to that is a ring on the door. Keep knocking, and the joy inside will eventually open a window and look out to see who is there. Rumi. There is no work so menial that you cannot exalt it. There is no work so impassive that you cannot breathe your soul into it. There is no work so dull that one may not enliven it with their own being. Henry Giles, American professional basketball player. If the job or work you are currently in becomes inadequate, if you truly feel that you have done all you can in that position, then keep yourself in tune with the creative flow through prayer and meditation. And one of two things will happen. Either the job will change, or you will be guided to another place. Scott Aubrey, Spiritual Passages.
Please join with me, knowing that in this place that represents the one love, the one God, Spirit, that's everywhere present. And I absolutely know that for myself and everyone here, that it's fully present within each and every one of us, as us, in its own unique and beautiful form, its own unique and beautiful expression. I know that deep down, that Spirit dwells within. And so as I claim this knowing, I know that there is peace. Peace within my soul. Peace within my being. And I allow that to be the anchor to moving forward in this life, in this expression, to be an agent and an ambassador of peace. So everything that I do, my thoughts, my actions are aligned with peace within, and that connection to the God seed that's so strong within my soul. So I give thanks for this knowing, for this center, knowing that this is a place to share and to grow, not only individually, but collectively with others, as we allow ourselves to blossom and to be that example of peace within, not only for ourselves, but within our families, but within the community and the world at large. So giving thanks, I release this prayer into law, knowing full well it is absolutely so, and together we say, and so it is. And Reverend Sue.
Thank you, Judy, Charlie, all of you for being here on Labor Day weekend. One of my friends is here, Beth, and she has the peace shirt on. And I thought, well, that's so cool, because that's what this is, the whole month is about peace. So I want you to bring out your peace signs and your hippie clothes all month long and celebrate peace. Yeah. I had to make sure I had both fingers up. I had to look. So, peace prevails. That's the main theme of the month. But today I want to just start taking it down to the level of very personal, the peace within each one of us. And when I started ministry so many years ago, I don't even know the year anymore, but my ministry was peace ministry. That's what I was given the duties of. And so we developed all sorts of peace adventures. We would go hiking for peace, snowshoeing for peace, kayaking for peace. And it was just a lovely time of my life because it was something that I really felt strongly about. I mean, peace is, but there was something more that when we celebrated it together in a more conscious way, it really enlivened the ideas within our hearts. And we also celebrated International Peace Day, which is in September, and that was always a highlight of the month. So now I circle back this many years later, looking at peace within. And in Buddhism, there's a saying that the Buddha says, when the inner conflict ends, peace begins. Think about that for a moment. Because we say peace is, and yet we feel where peace isn't in our world. We feel where peace sometimes isn't in our own life experience. So, but when that inner conflict, when we can deal with what's going on inside of us, then we begin to experience the essence of that peace, that divine quality of peace within. And so that's what we teach here at the center. This philosophy is about teaching us to use the universal principles of truth, the spiritual practices, the spiritual principles. And all of this, as we've gone through this year so far, we can reflect on all the work that we've done. Those of you that have been very consistent in your listening to the messages of each month, because it's been about diving into the depths of our vulnerability. That's not easy. That makes us squirm, and we want to go, I want to go to a church that just sings happy songs. But if we don't touch the source of the depth of who we are and get to know what's underneath and part of that vulnerability, we tend to stagnate our growth. So we have touched our vulnerability and gone even into our shadow nature at times. But we've also seen the light of the best parts of ourselves. Let's not forget that. Some of the moments when you left with an aha, or you used the work of spiritual practices to fine-tune your life experience. And then last month, we talked about spiritual bypass. And now we move today speaking peace. Speaking peace. And it's true what the Buddha said, that inner conflict ends. When that's gone, peace begins. So, let's center our awareness and remember that peace already is. It is your God-given divine quality of knowing. We are grounded, our very being is grounded in peace. But when we move through challenges, what comes up? Feelings. And you might be sitting there thinking, oh no, she's gonna go into feelings again. I am. I am, but it's part of the healing and it's part of your journey. So what we're looking for, remember, is to reveal that natural state. It's not something that we have to try to create. It already is, and that's what is so evident as we move through this. So when I mentioned feelings, there was a great inspiration from Daily Om that I found particularly important to share with you. It's called Sitting with Feelings. This is why it's important as a Sunday message. It can take great courage to really sit with our feelings, allowing ourselves to surrender to the powerful energy. All too often we set our feelings aside, thinking, I'll deal with that later. If we don't, we end up storing them in our mind and body. And this is where anxiety and other health issues can arise. Denying what our body wants to feel can lead to trouble now or down the line, which is why being in the thick of our feelings, no matter how scary it seems, is really the best thing we can do for ourselves. Now, I know as a nurse, I had to bury a lot of feelings. Nadine can probably testify to this, and Christine, other nurses that are in this room. Our work is demanding 12 hours of the unexpected happening, and you move through it. You just keep moving through it. And oftentimes, if there's something tragic that's happening on your shift, you move through it in the moment, but you don't deal with the feelings behind it. You can go home and you're so exhausted, you don't want to think about it. I'll deal with it later. Well, those lay inside of you, everyone. They lay inside of you. And one of the feelings that has been most difficult for me is because when you work as a nurse, you're with your fellow nurses. You're with your team. And when one of them dies, when one of them goes through the suffering that you have helped others through and they don't make it, it feels so unbearable. And that's how I lost my boss, my most favorite boss ever. And I was realizing as I was reflecting on the feelings that are in the depth of me, I thought of Joanne Carter. I thought of her. And I thought of how many times I won't think deeply enough about missing her so much because so painful. She was a person in service, the most brilliant nurse that could put all of those bags of medicine all around you, and you'd be on the ventilator and you'd be on life support machines, and she knew exactly what to do. Years later, too young, she lost her lung power. She was on those machines. People were tending to her. She lost her life. That's my story, but I know you each have those. What do we do with those? They feel unbearable. They feel like we can't breathe around them. But they're part of our human condition, and they're part of what makes us more empathetic and loving and being in service to the world. So I want to share a current reality with you, because these lessons that we share each week, I want you to know I don't take any of it lightly. I think about it at such a depth. I think about it. I think about my life and what I'm saying. Where am I in this? Where am I as I speak these words? Because I don't want you to think I'm up here and I got it together. That's why I can talk about it. I'm with you. I'm with you in the humanness of life. So, but being a reverend, sometimes people get really surprised if I say a swear word. And I'm thinking, well, I didn't know that was a swear word, but I'll hear you on that, and I'll be careful. I'll try to clean it up. You see, as when we take on the ministry, it's a very reverent, deep responsibility, and we walk a razor's edge, and we are in the public eye, but we're human. So, as I realized that as we've talked about especially spiritual bypassing and some of the other vulnerabilities that we've shared with each other, I thought, I have my stuff, and so I chose to find someone to talk to about it. Because that's another thing as a minister, I don't know if you remember this, Dr. Mary, but in our training, we were told, don't become friends with your congregation. Do you remember that, Mary? Oh, yeah. So that's hard to do because we fall in love with one another, but you have to keep your stories to yourself. So lucky Charlie gets to hear all of my stories. But I'm going to break down and just share briefly with you what this feels like when you can find somebody you trust with your whole self. Because in the trials that we meet, again, there's that stuffing, the layering down deep inside that we try to deal with, but we can only go so far at a certain level because something else is coming up along the way, and we just have to continue on. So what I want to share is actually the idea of finding that person, finding that someone that you can sit with, and let go of all of the voices inside of you that are telling you, well, you should know better, just get over it. Because if you could, you would have already. So I sought guidance, and as I sat in front of her, it was as if God herself was sitting back, looking at me. And I wanted to run. I wanted to bolt. I wanted to say, oh, that thing, oh, I'm over it. I'm good, I'm real good. There's God looking, tell me the truth. So, in the conversation, all she started with was, how are you doing? What are you feeling? Feelings? Think about your feelings right now. If this was your story and you were in that seat, think about it. What would you share? And if you start to think about what you would share, what do you feel? So as I was prompted by her gentle inquiry, by her kindness, I was aware right off that I was very guarded and very vulnerable because of the training, do not share with your congregation. So there I was, feeling, this feeling state though was emerging. It was familiar, and it's probably familiar to you because it's those areas where we layer fragments of ourselves, one on top of the other. They accumulate over the years. It's not just one issue. It is layering of something that's happened that caused you fear, regret, sadness, and shame. It's just a story that you're sharing with somebody that is laying over all of those feelings. And you can feel your own heart and you want to say, yikes. This is real. I'm about to talk about my issue, my privacy, my wah, 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 whatever it is. So I felt my body. And she said, what do you feel? And I said, my stomach. It would sound like or feel like the description if you've ever had butterflies, but I told her, butterflies are too beautiful for this feeling. It feels like worms. It feels like worms that are just kind of moving around in there. reaching up and trying to grab my heart. And it was swirling with that feeling, and I was entering this deeper into this moment of the vulnerability, and I was feeling, here is my heart being exposed. I could feel it quicken. I was very aware of that. I was aware that I felt fragile and weak. Now, I'm saying a lot of I's, and I don't mean to have this whole Sunday message be all about me, because I'm asking you to translate it into your personal experience if that was you. If that was you in those moments. So that heartbeat felt distant, it felt weak, it felt tired and weary, and I could feel my shoulders up to my ears, scrunching around my neck. And I just wanted to say, though, I wanted to lie and say, I feel fine. I feel fine. I'm so used to these feelings, they're fine. I'll deal with it. But no, God speaks lovingly back, tell me more. So I realized in those moments that I just needed to stay in the truth. So I invite you, if you find that opportunity, if you find that person you trust, and you can stay in your truth, and then it's as revealing who it was, because then we went into the emotional tapping. An amazing process. Because in the script of the tapping, it's all fed back to you. You have to hear it again through the other person telling you what you just said. But she leaves it with even though I have all this yuck, I lovingly believe and accept my feelings and myself, and I love myself. Yeah, you go back to that. It's as if you go down deep enough to where your soul is sitting with you and saying, I love you, I accept you. Even though all of this you're carrying, all of this stuff, all of these fragments, all of these scared pieces of ourselves trying to be heard, that we try to bring forth, and we want peace about it. That's why I'm talking about it. I want peace. I want resolve. I want healing. I want that more than anything as I move through an experience I have felt trapped in, felt disappointed in myself in. So as the tapping and the affirming dialogue continued, I literally felt the depth of it. The worms were gone. I have told her it felt like my heart was coalescing back into an image of a true heart, all pieced back together. I think there was a Zen saying where the cracked pottery, they could put it together with little gold paint. And I felt like that's what it felt like. All of those fragmented pieces were being held back together with gold, with love, with truth. And I honestly can testify I was at peace when we were done. And I know there's times, maybe not right now, but you can relate to this. And maybe I've painted it in such a way you're thinking, oh, I'm never going to go do that. But try to find your way. Try to find what's crying inside of you and ask your questions if you're doubting yourself. In the Course in Miracles, there is no conflict that does not entail the single, simple question, what am I? In that knowing, when the conflict is there, what am I? So this is the suffering, because we feel separate from divine peace. It's already there. The truth is right there. It's available, but we just feel like it's distant in some odd, unreal way. This is the no peace I'm talking about. No peace. That's part of our current reality. It gets mixed up in life situations, no peace. And that's what feels like we're separate from a divine influence. So the truth, this is what Ernest Holmes said, truth through the spiritual wisdom and our spiritual toolkits are at our fingertips. available to help us wake up from this illusion of separation. So here's his words: peace. Peace is always at the center of our soul. But what is not peace? What is not peace? Even though many aspects of our everyday experiences are filled with joy and lightness, it's not like we're walking around brooding all the time, feeling the worms, feeling the fragility of the heart. No, we learn to cope, we learn to deal. There's so much more to live for. But when we transform that one unsettled part of our being, we begin to realize its roots in our being, and we can go to the source. And again, I testify to the power of practitioner work, because they will take you there. They will take you there to the depths, to the roots, to the very source of what is causing you distress. It might take a few times, but there's the prayer that fine-tunes you back to your power. We won't run away. We won't throw our arms up. All of us, as we take this on this month, saying, this is all about peace, but this is not peace. This is one of those moments of not peace. Let's stay with it and find our guidance. Find the words to remind yourself of what is inside of you. Even though such and such is happening, whatever it is for you, I completely love and accept myself. This wholeness that I speak of is shaping you. This is where Ram Dass says, to dissolve agitations and attachments of the mind is to remove the veils from our heart. That's what was happening. It allows us to then meet one another in the purity of love. So let us remember that this inner peace is never leaving us. We've fragmented in some ways because of our disappointment or our shames, but peace is. And a lot of the readings this week are going back to some of the work of Ernest Holmes. So this is what he says here from 1954, The Peace That Conquers. You and I know that no matter how confused we are, if we will get by ourselves long enough and think peace, we shall become peaceful. Peace is the divine reality of the heart. It is an announcement of the God presence of God, and that God is peace. So in the glossary of his textbook, The Science of Mind, peace, what is it? What is it? So you remember what we're talking about. It's a state of inner calm, right? Let me just take a breath and just kind of feel that settle the heart. An inner calm so complete that nothing can disturb it. The peace which comes only from the knowledge, it is all. Fathomless peace is meant by the Spirit, the peace of the Spirit. This is the peace to which Jesus referred when he said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you." How lovely would that be in humanity right now across the world if we reached out to one another and that was our leading phrase, "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you." We could say it silently, allowing this truth to be revealed. This infinite is always at peace because there's nothing to disturb it. The realization of our oneness with omnipresence brings peace, the peace that is accompanied by the consciousness of power. So feel that at a felt level. Feel moments of inner calm. Throughout the month, I'll be sharing a little bit of being peace from Thich Nhat Hanh. But this idea of dwelling in our own soul as we recognize this transforming light, this presence that we so love and nurture with our spiritual practices, why we show up in the divine nature to unify ourselves with this in a complete surrender and trust. That's living in the heart of the divine. So this week, just realize those moments when you're not at peace, whatever's going on. Just pause with it. Take a breath with it. And allow yourself to just be aware. Because that's in that moment just showing that you're awake and you're in touch with this longing because you're disturbed about it. You're not in peace. You're in touch with longing for the peace amidst the confusion. You are being conscious. And when you're conscious, you can pause and be still in that moment. You'll no longer feel like the victim or separate. And you're going to find your way through by being still and allowing the breath to lead you into the direction of the loving presence within you. All of this is designed to help us stay out of those moments where we're triggered by the trauma and where we resort to those feelings of fright, flight, freeze. And they also add flop and friend to the automatic reactions to fear. We can dissociate. So when we look at spiritual consciousness, that's what we're looking at here when we talk about it on Sundays. Those 4 stages, practitioners know this well. There's that first stage, and you know it. Things happen to me. I am the victim. That's stage 1. Your stories are real, and it feels like you're the one that the whole world's against. Stage 2, you start to discover and you get empowered that you can do something about it, that you have a choice. And you start to come to the center. And you start to gather the tools. You start to go into the classes and you start to manifest responsibility. That's the by me. And then it moves. 3 and 4 are the lovely places where most of you are most of the time. We flip all through these all the time, depending on what it is. But through me, that's when we surrender to something greater than ourselves. Through me. And then finally, the 4th one, you wonder what's beyond through me? As me. As me. A state of evolution of consciousness where we are one. We are one with all that is. And there's no separation. If you want to know more about that, Dr. Michael Beckwith has wonderful YouTube on that, the whole process of that. And he uses a lot as the process of visioning. So remember, you go in and out of these stages, though. And it's not like you failed. There's certain parts of our life that we feel, I'm back in 1. I'm the victim here. But knowing that there's a greater consciousness ahead of that, you can find your way more easily. And trauma, many of you can talk to several of, there's so many since over the last 10 years, the trauma-related therapies are just so brilliant in helping you find your way. And anything that's been a trapped hurt inside of you can be healed. It's not that far away. So question yourself, what do you do? What do you do? And be willing to just then get clear, sit quietly with that. Roger Teal in This Life is Joy, conflict is inevitable, but resentment is optional. Suffering is optional. Violence, belittling, self-sabotage, rejection, hatred, unhappiness, optional. We all have the spiritual wherewithal to claim more magnificence and life-affirming options for ourselves and for the community of mankind. So this month, let's participate in a much more conscious way to know our destination of peace. No peace is present and that we have the access to it. We're going to merge with the oneness of it and feel it at our core. Key to that is often turning from the condition, whatever is causing you to react or to feel uncomfortable. But here's where Thich Nhat Hanh says, take a moment in feeling and percepting what's going on. Fill our mind and heart and practice the meditation, because meditation is being aware of your feelings. And then you can shift your focus from the head to your heart, and dwell in peace and understanding. There's where the space is, unifying with that oneness and allowing this manifestation to be real. Now there is, hopefully most of you got it, but there's spiritual practice we can do together. And this comes from the archives of Ernest Holmes, and it's also in his book, This Thing Called Life, This Thing Called You. And so if we could take that, look at that. I am surrounded by peace. I am immersed in peace. There's nothing but peace. Peace. Deep calm, undisturbed peace. Feel that in your heart space. Feel that in the idea of today I'm choosing. That when, as Ernest Holmes says, when I am confused, I stop and listen and know within me, as me, is an inner calm. I am going to turn from that confusion. I'm not going to be led by that confusion. I'm going to allow that to take me deeper into something that is the truth. And we say, I am submerged in peace. I am surrounded by peace. I am immersed in peace. There's nothing but peace. Peace deep, calm, undisturbed. Now you have that in your handout to take with you to just keep it in the car. A good place to practice. That's when we get triggered most. But I also put that little cartoon on there because I thought it was hysterical. Because this is where we often are, the body-mind problem. Get up, no. Get up, yes. Be the one that is standing and longing for peace. So let's close. Have Judy come up. I invite you to allow those words to fill your soul. And as God speaks to you in this moment, as you become the conduit, the channel, as your heart opens to the sweet love of the divine, feel it as a light anointing you from above. Feel the purity of this light as it goes through the brain-mind, bypassing all of the synapses of story, memory, going down through the space of throat, where we often express ourselves, from all of that, into the heart, into the anahata, into the place of absolute truth, into the place of love, calm, like the peaceful waters on the lake, undisturbed, reflecting as above, so below. This pure heart of intention. See yourself basking in love itself, in peace, in joy, in beauty, all of the divine qualities. Feel it. Take a seat there. There is in all of us an altar of the heart where we bow, where we surrender, where we feel, everyone, where we feel. Feel your heart. Feel its beat, how precious it is, how glorious it was celebrated the moment you were born, the moment you were even in the mother's womb, this heartbeat of truth, of connection to life, to love. You see, as you sit here and you look all around, there's no confusion. Peace is. And you're sitting in the middle of it, and I want you to look around there and know whatever has troubled you is resolving itself as you face the truth. Forgive yourself. Forgive the others. And just be in love. Just let yourself relax your shoulders, relax the belly. Be at peace with what is. I give thanks for the many ways that we come together in community, where we bond in an understanding, in a trust, that we can look each other in the eye and know that we can love one another authentically. So thank you, God, for this moment in time where the veils are all lifted and this room is filled with peace. Peace be unto you. Peace be unto me. Peace be unto all beings. We give thanks. And together we say, yes, and so it is. Thank you, everyone. Darian, he looks at me and he goes, now. Thank you.
It definitely does seem that anytime I come to play music, Sue always speaks something that really, really tugs at me. I'd like to play you guys a song that it's kind of hard to explain, but I myself have been going through a lot of weird things lately in my life. And I am back talking with somebody that I didn't think I'd ever hear from again. And having those old wounds reopened can be really hard. I think we all know that. But it's kind of helped me kind of get some peace of mind and kind of close a chapter that I didn't really think would close. And I wrote this song for them. It was they were a very big part of my life for a long time. But it's I've kind of come to peace with that. The song isn't necessarily mine anymore. It's kind of out there for other people to kind of relate to now. And anytime I play the song, I feel kind of vindicated. So hope you guys enjoy it. Turn me into the universe you see in me. Tell me that I'm beautiful. Tell me I'm so pretty. Say you can see entire galaxies in my eyes. Hold my hand until Thank you.
I'd like to invite the ushers to the front. Thank you. I'd like us to find a place in our hearts right now, feeling all the love here, all the shared stories. And as I prepare to give my offering, my heart is filled with love and appreciation, since what is offered here is for my spiritual well-being. I'm filled with gratitude, knowing life stays in balance, for as I give, I receive. I give thanks for the blessed donations received in the offering this morning and during the week. I know that each dollar supports this spiritual family in many ways as we grow together, pray together, and give thanks for all that this center has been blessed with today and always. And so it is. I'd like to remind everybody that the practitioners will be at the bell if you would like prayer for anything heavy on your heart today. And I invite Reverend Sue to give us closing of this beautiful day. Thank you.
I'm going to do one more song. I'm sure you guys know this one.
Like me.
So in this whole month, we are bringing back the peace song. So a lot of you want to stand for that. There is, for some of you that don't know, inside the Science Mind textbook is one of a lot of our favorite quotes. And I'm going to share this with you because it's something very powerful that Ernest Holmes says to us. We have it also, part of it on the entryway there on a poster. But think about this now from what we shared today together. Peace be unto thee, stranger. Enter and be not afraid. I have left the gate open, and thou art welcome in my home. There is room in my house for all. I have swept the hearth and lighted the fire. The room is warm and cheerful, and you will find comfort and rest within. The table is laid, and the fruits of life are spread before thee. The wine is here also, it sparkles in the light. I have set a chair for you, where the sunbeams dance through the shade. Sit and rest. Refresh your soul. All is yours. You are welcome. Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes. That's peace. So stand and let's do the peace song together. And Judy will lead the music.